Hello everyone. Am I audible to everyone? Do you have any idea about calculus? Afsan, Mazia, Minashi? Do you have any idea about calculus? Okay. Calculus is nothing but mathematics related to any curve or any of the geometrical term. So in calculus, we mainly divide into two parts. First is called differentiation, and second is called integration. Today I will define you about integration, that is the reverse process of differentiation. If you have a curve, like this, and if you cut a small
Definitely,
strip
sir.
like this, so this particular strip is so small that it will tend to just a point size like this. So first is differentiation, which is nothing but breaking down of a curve into infinitely small strip so that you will get just a point to define tangent, rate of change, slope, and many more different application of this particular differentiation. In integration, we have to sum up these small strips to get the entire function as whole. So let's say you have this particular strip having width dx and height y from this point to this point. So if you want to calculate area of this particular strip, so it will be product of length and breadth. So it will be y times dx. And if I assume this particular curve would have infinite number of strips extending from one end to other end like this. And so on. So you have to sum up these all strips extending from one end to other end. So in mathematics, we use a Greek alphabet that is called sigma to sum up these small strips extending from one end to the other end. Now, if this width is very small that it tends to zero, this sigma will transform to another symbol that is elongated s y times dx. So this elongated s is nothing but sign of integration. Is it clear to you all till this part?
Yes.
Sir, what is integration?
Integration is nothing but reverse process of differentiation. So in integration, we just sum up small strip to get the area of this entire graph or entire curve. Or you will say sum up small component to get as a whole part. Now we have certain formula related to this. First, if x raised to n times dx is equals to n raised to x raised to n plus 1 divided by n plus 1, but there is one limitation, n should not be equals to minus 1. When n becomes minus 1, it will be 1 over x times dx. So its integration would be log of x. Next is e raised to x is equals to e raised to x. Next, integration of sine x is minus of cos x. And last, integration of cos x is plus sine x. So just remember these 5 formula and you will be able to define integration. Is it clear to you all till this part?
Yes, sir.
Okay,
Yes,
just
sir.
write it down. I'm giving you some example related to this. Have you all done till this part?
Yes, sir.
Raza?
Yes, sir.
Now we may further divide this integration into 2 parts. First is called indefinite and second is called definite integration. Let's say if you have a curve like this, and if there is no limit of calculation of area related to this particular curve, it will extend towards this direction and towards this direction. We call that integration as indefinite integration. So if there is no limit bounded, so it is called indefinite integration. But if there is some limit bounded, it is termed as definite integration. I'm defining what we might mean by definite integration. Suppose if you have solved area or calculated area of this particular strip or strip identical to this, extending from this end to this end only. So this particular point is termed as lower limit or starting limit of this particular calculation. And let's say this is your final point. So it will be termed as upper limit or the final point. So how to define it? I'm giving you some relation. Let's say if you have y dx integration extending from a to b. So if you integrate this, you will get y times x limit b to a. Now, if you put the value of x to be b as upper limit, you will get y times b. Now, again, if you put the value of x to be a, you will get y times a. In geometrically, it will define you y to be b as area extending from this point to this point. It means it will be area extending from this point to this point. So this will be area YB. Similarly, if we calculate YA, it will be area extending from this point to this point, like this. But we have to calculate only for this limit. So what will we do? We'll just subtract these two different expressions to get the area from this point to this point only. So we have y to a from this point to this point and yb from this point to this point. So if you subtract these two terms, you will get yb minus ya as a required area corresponding to a to b. So just put a negative sign in between. Is it clear? What do you mean by definite integration of sum? Okay, just write it down. Mohammed Khalid, any doubt till this part?
No, sir.
Have you all done? Azia, we're done. I'm giving you some relation or some example related to this. If you have x dx, or let's say x squared dx. So how to integrate this? Is it just similar to x raised to n dx, for which we have formula. Just increase the exponential by 1 and divide by same exponential. And this is valid only for x not equals to 1. So apply this in this expression, you will get, here we have x raised to 2. So n is 2 here. So it will be 2 plus 1 whole divided by 2 plus 1. So on simplifying, you will get x raised to 3 divided by 3 as your final answer. Is it clear to you all?
Yes, sir.
Nikhil, any doubt?
No doubt.
Okay, similarly, try to simplify 1 over x square dx. So for any of the problem, first of all, write each term in exponential and in numerator. So you will bring this particular term into numerator. So it will be minus 2 dx. Now apply this formula, you'll get your answer. Try to solve, everyone, and send your answer in chat box to me. Good, Nabila. Good, Minashi. Nikhil, just send me your answer. Mazia. Good, Sam. Nikhil, just check your calculation. Just see how to solve it. According to this rule, n is minus 2. So on applying, you will get minus 2 plus 1 divided by minus 2 plus 1. So it will be x raised to minus 1 divided by minus 1. If a term having negative exponential, if you move it to denominator, it will become positive. So you may write it as minus 1 over x. Is it clear? I'm giving you
Yes,
one
sir.
more
No,
time.
I understood. Yes, sir.
Okay.
Sir, if even if I move the -1 up, it still stays as minus only, right? So,
If you have -1/2, it will be written this, like this. In any of these three expressions, it is correct.
okay, sir.
Try to simplify this. Root in exponential is written like half. You may write this expression as 2x raised to plus half in denominator. On moving to the numerator, it will become minus half times dx. Use any constant, keep it outside, and apply the formula to try to solve. Good, Nabila. Nashi, you have left coefficient 2. Otherwise, your answer is correct. Nikhil, just check your calculation. Mohammed Khalid, just send your answer. Yeah. Just see how to simplify it. We have 2 as constant term, keeping it outside, and x raised to minus half, which is nothing but n. So on applying, it will be n plus 1 divided by n plus 1. Now, if you simplify it, you will get x raised to minus half plus 1. So it will become plus half. Divide by minus half plus 1. So it will be plus half. This 2 will move to numerator. So on multiplying with this part, it will become 4. And x raised to plus half is nothing but root. So it will be root of x.
Sir, can you explain the last step again? How it became 4?
We have 1 over 2 in denominator. So this 2 will move to numerator and get multiplied with 2. So it will become 4. Is it clear?
Yes, sir. Yes.
Do you have any doubt till this part to anyone of you?
No,
Hafsa?
sir.
Mazia? Okay. So this is all about indefinite integration where there is no limit bounded. Now, how to solve definite integration? Let's say if we have 3 times of x square dx extending from 1 to 2. So this is lower limit and this is upper limit. So first of all, you have to apply formula to get integration. Here we have 3, which is just constant, so keep it outside, and x raised to 2 times dx. Integration limit from 1 to 2. Now, for this expression, here we have n is equals to 2. So on applying this formula, you will get x raised to n plus 1 divided by n plus 1, limit extending from 1 to 2. Now, if you simplify it, you will get 3 x raised to 2 plus 1, 3 divided by 2 plus 1, 3, limit 1 to 2. Now this 3 and this 3 would cancel out. So you will get x raised to q, limit extending from 1 to 2. Now put the values in this x for upper limit as well as lower limit. So it will be x is equals to 2 and having exponential 3. So it will become 2 raised to 3. If x is equals to 1, having exponential 3, so it will become 1 to the power 3. And there should be negative sign in between to get the actual value. So it will be 2 raised to 3, that is 8. 1 raised to 3, that is 1. So it will be 8 minus 1, 7. Is it clear to you all? Khalid, any doubt?
No, sir.
Sir, I have a doubt, sir.
Yes.
Sir, why did we do that at first, sir? The raised to 2. Why did we do raised to 2, sir? At first.
We have 3x squared, in which 3 is constant term, so keep it outside as a coefficient. So what we left with x raised to 2. So 2 is nothing but exponential of this x.
No, sir.
Can you
I mean, sir, like in the question, sir, from when we start in the third step, sir, from there. Yes, yes, sir, from there. Why we did whole raised to 2?
okay. This is limit related to this particular integration. This is called lower limit and this is called upper limit.
Yes,
So I
sir.
have put these two terms in each part. So this is nothing but limit. This is not exponential to the whole. This is the limit
Oh, okay, sir.
within which we have to solve this expression.
Okay, sir.
Mazia, just 1 minute. Yes, Afshan? Do you want to ask something?
Last one.
Are you all done till this part?
Yes, sir.
Okay. In this expression, for any of the integration or definite integration, first of all, if there is constant term, so keep it outside. So what we left with? X square. So it have exponential as 2. So on applying this formula, you will get x raised to 2 plus 1 divided by 2 plus 1. So 2 plus 1 is 3 and 2 plus 1 is 3. So it will be x cubed divided by 3. This 3 and this 3 would cancel out. So you get x raised to 3 and limit extending from 1 to 2. So this is called upper limit and this is lower limit. So you have to put the value of x first as upper limit. That's why I put x is equals to 2 and having exponential 3 as well. Next, you have to put the value of x as lower limit as 1 and whole exponential to be 3. And there should be negative sign in between to get the exact value of function between these two limits. Is it clear, Mazia?
Yes, sir.
I'm giving you one more example related to this.
Sir, can you show for 1 minute, sir?
Okay.
Previous slide. Thank you, sir.
Try to solve this part. Good, Mikhail. Good, Mazia. Now she just check your calculation. Good, Nabila. Good, Razan. Good, Minashi. Khalid, just send your answer. Or ask me if you have in doubt. Okay, Khalid. Okay. So if get to is constant term, so keep it outside. You're left with x raised to 1 times dx, limit extending from 2 to 3. Now, if you apply the formula, you will get x raised to 1 plus 1 divided by 1 plus 1, limit extending from 2 to 3. So it will be x raised to 2 divided by 2, extending from 2 to 3. This 2 and this 2 would cancel out. So you're left with x square extending from 2 to 3. Now, if you put the value of x in the limit, you will get 3 square and 2 square. So it will be 9 minus 4, which is equals to 5. I think you all have got the same answer. Good. So we have just finished this whole integration and differentiation or calculus part. I'm giving you one more relation related to this particular integration. If you have integration of sum or difference of any two functions like fx plus or minus times gx whole times dx. So how do you integrate? So according to this rule would be just break this particular term individually. So it will be fx dx plus or minus gx dx integration. It means if we have sum or difference of any two different function and you have to integrate it, just break this term and integrate each term individually. Like I'm giving you a new relation. If you have integration of x square plus 5 times dx, so just expand this, you will get x square times dx plus 5, which is a constant term, so keep it outside, times dx. Since there is no expression of x in this part, but it should be 1 in multiplicative with each term. So it will be termed as x raised to 0. Is it clear? Now, if
Yes,
you
sir.
apply the formula, you get x raised to 2 plus 1 divided by 2 plus 1 plus 5, x raised to 0 plus 1 divided by 0 plus 1. So on solving, you will get x cubed divided by 3 plus 5 times x as your answer. Just write it down. Have you all done till this part?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
This is all about this mathematical part or mathematical physics or